Welcome to the Blockchain Philosopher channel. Today we're asking the provoking question, what is fact-checking and is it susceptible to control or even elimination by the blockchain? Fact-checking is the process of verifying the accuracy of claims, statements of fact, against reliable evidence. It aims to determine whether something is true, false, misleading, or unverifiable, ideally using transparent sources and methods. Traditionally, fact-checking involves comparing a claim to primary sources, consulting experts or witnesses, or evaluating context. That is, was something quoted accurately or misleadingly? At its core, fact-checking is supposed to answer a simple question. Is this true, false, or somewhere in between? Now let's look into history. Historians, journalists, and scholars have always checked facts, but informally. Newspapers relied on editors and reputation rather than formal systems. Between 1920 and 1990, magazines like Time and The New Yorker created dedicated fact-checking departments. Fact-checking became a professional discipline, especially in long-form journalism. Then, from 2000 to 2010, the internet flooded the world with information and misinformation. Early independent organizations emerged, such as PolitiFact in 2007, factcheck.org in 2003. From 2010 onwards, social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, created viral misinformation loops. Fact-checking became institutionalized by tech platforms, outsourced to third-party organizations, and integrated into content moderation systems. This is when the term fact-checking became mainstream and politically charged. One of the earliest and most recognizable fact-checking platforms is Snopes, founded in 1994 by David Mickelson and Barbara Mickelson. The organization began as a folklore and urban legend site. It focused on myths, hoaxes, and viral email claims. Think chain emails, strange stories, early internet rumors. The site gradually expanded into political claims, news verification, and social media rumors. By the 2010s, Snopes had become one of the most widely cited fact-checking sources online. Is Snopes unbiased? This is where opinions diverge sharply. Arguments that Snopes is credible focus on such factors as it provides detailed sourcing and citations. Snopes uses a rating system, true, false, mixed, etc., and it has corrected its own errors publicly. Critics argue story selection can be politically skewed, framing of conclusions may lean toward progressive or leftist interpretations, and there may be controversies around editorial tone. In the final analysis, Snopes is best understood as a human editorial organization, not a neutral machine. An organization subject to judgment calls, questioned source selection, and interpretation. So the real answer may be that it strives for accuracy, but like all fact-checkers, it operates within human and institutional constraints. Social media platforms amplified the spread of information and misinformation at unprecedented speed. Fact-checking became embedded in platforms like Facebook and YouTube and outsourced to third-party organizations, thus becoming a visible and controversial part of public discourse. This is when the term fact-checking became politically loaded. Now here's where things get interesting. Fact-checking today sits at the intersection of journalism, technology, and politics. The ideal situation would seek to create a neutral system that protects society from falsehoods and a defense against fake news, propaganda, or foreign influence. In essence, a neutral arbiter of truth. The reality may be slightly different. Fact-checking is increasingly being seen as a gatekeeping mechanism, a narrative-shaping tool. Critics argue fact-checking has become subjective, tantamount to framing disguised as objectivity. Many claims aren't purely true, false, they are contextual. Fact-checks can hinge on interpretation, not just data. They can be selectively enforced. Some claims are scrutinized intensely, others ignored. In addition, critics claim fact-checks can shape public perception by labeling dissenting views as false, even when debated. Critics also claim that fact-checking has become closely associated with progressives and the Democrat Party. This is debated, but here are the observable dynamics. Among conservatives, the perception is that fact-checking organizations and big tech moderation are seen as left-leaning or overly progressive, more likely to challenge Republican narratives than Democratic ones. Reasons often cited are many fact-checking organizations are based in academia and journalism institutions, which tend to lean politically left, or they are driven by tech platforms, which are historically staffed by similar demographics. The counter-argument from the left is that fact-checkers follow evidence-based standards, and any political asymmetry that appears simply reflects who makes more inaccurate claims. The reality is that it is less about formal party alignment and more about trust asymmetry. One side increasingly trusts fact-checkers, the other increasingly rejects them as biased. That breakdown of trust is the real story. And an even deeper problem is who owns truth. Fact-checking assumes there exists a trusted authority, and that authority can adjudicate truth. But in a fragmented, polarized society, no authority is universally trusted. Facts become entangled with power, incentives, and narratives. That brings us to the blockchain. In a sense, blockchain solves the central issues of trust and truth by using mathematics. Blockchain introduces three core concepts that are anathema to improprieties in traditional fact-checking. The first is immutability. Data on a blockchain cannot be altered once recorded. It is etched in stone, or rather on a chain. Then there is decentralization. No single authority controls information or facts. A consensus is formed by a disaggregated community of remote servers or nodes. Finally, blockchain is open source. Anyone can inspect the system. Truth is open for all to see. The vision has become proof of truth instead of trust me. Imagine a world where primary data is recorded on-chain. This includes things like government spending, scientific data sets, election results, and media originals, or a world where every claim links to verifiable sources. A politician's statement is linked to raw data. A news clip is cryptographically signed at origin. Or a world where content authenticity is provable, where deepfakes are instantly flagged, or original media is traceable to source. Or even a world where reputation systems replace gatekeepers. Instead of fact-checking authorities, you have transparent credibility scores built from track records, not institutional branding. With blockchain, you get a new mantra, a new model that says, verify, don't trust. Instead of relying on phrases like, experts say this is true, you could have cryptographically verified records, time-stamped original data, and traceable media authenticity. Examples: a speech recorded and hashed on-chain with no edits possible. Government data published immutably with no retroactive changes. News footage signed at origin, deepfakes easily exposed. So, will the blockchain eventually eliminate fact-checkers? In theory, yes, it will replace them. Instead of trust us, we checked it. You get verify it yourself. Here's the cryptographic proof. Now let's stretch a bit. If information control equals power and narrative shaping equals political leverage, then fact-checking, especially when centralized, can be seen as a soft control mechanism, a way to elevate certain truths, suppress inconvenient ones, or frame public discourse. From this perspective, blockchain is dangerous, not because it's flawed, but because it removes narrative control. A fully transparent, immutable record of money flows, government actions, and media origins, which would make it very hard to rewrite history, spin events, or quietly adjust facts after the fact. If one assumes information equals power and narrative equals control, then centralized fact-checking can be viewed as a soft enforcement layer of acceptable truth. From this lens, blockchain threatens that model by eliminating gatekeepers, making raw data universally accessible, and preventing after-the-fact revisions. In such a world, you don't need Snopes. You need math, cryptography, and open ledgers. However, blockchain may not solve everything. Garbage in, garbage out, or garbage forever. Who inputs the data initially? Interpretation still matters. Human bias doesn't disappear, it just moves. So instead of eliminating disagreement, it may simply move the battlefield from facts to interpretation of facts. Even with blockchain, someone still inputs the data. Context and interpretation still matter, and humans still disagree. So while blockchain may eliminate disputes over what happened, it won't eliminate disputes over what it means. Fact-checking arose because we lost trust in information. Blockchain proposes don't trust, verify. But even in a world of perfect data, humans will still argue about what it means. And that debate, that never goes away. Blockchain reframes the question as, can truth be proven without trusting anyone? That shift from authority to verification may be one of the most important philosophical transitions of the digital age. Please follow the Blockchain Philosopher for further videos on areas in which the blockchain provides solutions to everyday problems.